300 men and boys are freed from House of Torture Islamic boarding school where they were chained up, raped by staff and starved in the name of teaching them the Quran in Nigeria.
Here's a summary of the article.
More than 300 men and boys have been rescued from a House of Torture Islamic boarding school where they were detained and raped by staff for years in Kaduna, Nigeria. Many were found chained up and the detainees, mostly children, said they had been tortured, sexually abused, starved and prevented from leaving. Police raided a building in the city on Thursday where the victims were kept in the most debasing and inhuman conditions in the name of teaching them the Quran and reforming them, a police spokesperson said. Kaduna State's Chief of Police Ali Janga said it was a case of human slavery and they raided the house after an anonymous tip-off. During the raid on the school, police said they found a torture chamber where students were chained, hung and beaten. The owner of the school said all they do is teach people Islam and said the allegations of torture and sexual assault are false, despite acknowledging people were in chains. Some were chained before and after settling down, they were freed.
This post received a score of 64,355, with an upvote ratio of 91%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
According to the article, the scariest part is that the men and boys are brought to the school by their own families to be reformed. I was sponsored to Canada by my dad's aunt after Baathi parents and some siblings were killed in the early stages of the Somalian Civil War. That fear is what kept me in line until I graduated high school and got the hell out of that home. What these poor men and boys went through was my deepest fear growing up and not being able to come back to Canada. Although I still carry some emotional, psychological scars, I can say I'm happy to be alive and living well in Canada.
Hey bro, I met a young Somali Canadian in Mogadishu, who was sent to one of those colleges. He and some other boys beat the teachers up and ran away. He called his dad in Canada to say he escaped and that their relationship is over. I can honestly say I've never seen anyone reformed from going to these places.
Are the people who send kids there ever aware of what's going on in those places? Doesn't seem like Somalian parents would read a Reddit exposé, but do they still know about the chain starve-rapings, or are they in that magic ignorance bubble where they just never heard what goes inside, like pre-Jesus Camp documentary U.S. Society?
I wouldn't be surprised if they know and rationalize it with, it's God's will, religion's get-out-of-jail-free card.
That's how the priests did it.
And the ministers who slagged off the priests in public but emulated them in private.
The owner of the school said all they do is teach people Islam and said the allegations of torture and sexual assault are false, despite acknowledging people were in chains, we weren't torturing anyone. ... What? Those are fun chains. For fun playtime. ...
They weren't being chained down. They were being chained up.
You chain me up, so I can stand in dungeons. You chain me up to drown in stormy seas. I am strong when I am in your stockade. You chain me up to be more than I can be.
You chain me up. That's top 10 things I've ever seen on Reddit.
These poor boys and men, what nightmares they must have been through. Frowning face.
Some as young as 9.
Thankful their living hell has come to an end, but as a rape victim myself, unfortunately it's likely that the nightmare will continue in PTSD for many years to come. I was only raped once and the trauma stuck with me for 12 years until I finally got some therapy. Now I can finally think about it, or talk about it, or get blindsided by something to do with rape in the news, without falling into panic attacks. I really hope they'll have the resources they deserve, but with their location, and the sheer number of victims, I really don't believe they will get it.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.